This is early version of our garden deck. We wanted to have some lights on it, so we just plugged those into this outside wall socket. But it went bust when we left it in the rain in that IKEA box over there. Yeah, totally pointless. So I got another set of lights to get the adapter, and now the mission is to put the power, the smart control brick and this new AC adapter into some weather sealed box. And overall I figured I need like 25 centimeters of space. Guess what else is 25 centimeters? My printer's bed. So I've set out on a hunt for the perfect 3D print design for such a box that I could put those cables in, but it wouldn't be so easy because I have like already something on a cable. I want to put like the extension cord, the end of the extension cord, along with a few other things in there and then close it. And I also need another hole for the cable going out. So this is the first one I found. I figured might be something like this, but mainly I like this because of this lighting that was made on it, making it look like those high voltage boxes. So I was looking further and I found those snap lock boxes, and I figured I might just do like a hole on the edge and then close them. So looking further, I found another one that had a gasket, making it watertight. So this was something I really liked. And then I found this that looked really sturdy, and it also included gaskets for the holes for the cables. So that's something I figured out I needed. And heck, I went as far as asking AI, here we have Meshi AI, to generate something like this, and you can see what it did. And among all those crazy hallucinations that were some looking pretty cool but weren't that, something was generated that I was considering using. I was thinking I could like slice it, and then I had those holes here and I could put screws there, but well, it's still far from perfect, and I figured I would probably have still a hard time doing that. But this is basically what I was going for at the time. And then I found the holy grail, the parametric, stable and waterproof electronics IP65 IP67 project box enclosure case housing. I started to work on the default box that was included here as a sample, but there was this SCAD files here, and I didn't know SCAD at the time. And then later, looking into the comments, found someone asking kind of similar questions. Is there a way to scale up? And the author, the PB-TEC, answered that you need to download Open SCAD for free and open the SCAD files, and then you can set the sizes. And then I tried that, and it's literally that. This is how it looks like, and this is how I designed my box. And you can parameterize everything here, and with that create your own box, the one that you need. So if I just change something here, you can see it will be regenerated, and boom. Then there is a way to export it. I don't know. Yeah, here you can put it to STL, and voila, there you have it. And it also generates a gasket that you can print in TPU. And yeah, it's that. As you can see in mine, it was different size, but I put my holes for the cables on one end and on the edge, so I can put the cables through along with that whole contraption that I created. Then I've put another additional 2 nuts along the longer edges, right? Oh yeah, this is the Y additional screw. If I just uncheck it, boom, both of those will disappear. You can parameterize everything here, like the depth of the groove, the thickness of gasket, the type of the screws that you have, and fortunately I just had those. So this is how I designed my box. Later I changed the ends holding it. I decided to print the case in PETG, so it's sturdy against the weather conditions, and the gasket will be printed, of course, in TPU. So this is the point at which I figured out I will document this for the others. I thought the good idea would be to slice a corner of the box to see if those parts will have the right tolerances on my printer, and they had just perfect fit. Another thing I did was to print just few layers of the box to see if the width and height will be fine for what I want to put there. And it did fit, but I didn't film it. Here you can see top enclosure being printed. Then I printed the gasket, but I printed 3 of those, different in thickness. As this was kind of mentioned in the description that it can be adjusted to your liking. So by default, the program was giving me 1.5 millimeters, and I also printed 1 millimeter and half a millimeter thick gasket. Here I'm checking how it will fit into the top enclosure, and then I also checked with my test part of the lower part of the box how it will come together. Then I also marked the gaskets with 1, 2 and 3 lines so I know which is which. So if you're testing, I advise that. Then it came to printing the box itself, and that was the first print that I did that needs to be paused mid-print and something be put in there, so I was kind of anxious, but it went alright. So I paused the print and waited for the head to go into the parking, and then I put the nuts into the box, and I figured I will be doing that having them slightly on the screw itself, and that was a very good way of doing that. They did fit snugly, no issues there. But when I restarted the print and next layers started to be printed, I noticed that there was some of the material drawn over the nuts, and I was worried that they will be like buried there and they won't be of actual use. This is how it looked like from the top. So if you have something like this going on, not to worry, it was okay eventually. After the print was done, I just took a drilling bit and slightly worked in the holes with it, and the excess of the material was removed. Then I checked how it all fits together, and it was just fine. And here you can see the lightning that I put on the lid that I actually sliced out of the first design that I was showing you earlier. And at this point I also checked if the screws can be screwed in properly. So next point was to design the gaskets for the cables coming in and out. So I took some measurements of the final product, and they were just in line with what they were expected to be. So in Tinkercad I figured this type of shapes, so they like snap in over the wall of the box. And then I needed to load the TPU. Yummy. And the gaskets were done. Oh, and they like snapped because I forgot to set the right amount of infill, and they were like 15%, so they were very not structurally sound. As you can see, they were almost empty, but still it did allow me to test if the fit was right. So it actually was, and they sat like that, so I was really happy with that. But then I figured it may be tough to put those in if they actually are in one piece, so I redesigned them so they don't have this second white part, but you just slide them in from the top. So, good try, bad results. But it's kind of interesting how these structures look in the light, and they have so different shapes. Do 3D printers dream of TPU snow? Anyway, another issue I realized is that a round gasket cannot be put on the cable that has already something applied on it. So I cut the gasket as you've seen, and I figured those need to be put like around the cable. So I cut those, and I decided I need to take a test of like integration of all that, like some call it integration hell. So I put everything as it should be and see if it will fit. And as you can see, I had to adjust the approach, so I put it slightly diagonally. Overall, everything did fit, and I figured I just need to adjust the gaskets for the cables slightly. So first I removed the wider parts so they can be installed easily, and then I made them slightly taller. Then for the gasket for the small cable coming out, I changed the shape of the holes so it will fit the double cable just right. As the previous shape I was thinking it will like fit, but no. And then I added slight gaps to both of the gaskets so they can be like opened and put around the cables. And then also I made the gasket for the extension cord thinner because I want to gain space inside the box by putting it slightly outside, as the cable has this housing at the end of the extension cord. So it will be very, very thin, just to like isolate the gap that will be there between the cord and the box. And actually it came out as just a single line of filament, so it will be very thin. Then I prepared the top cover for the painting. So then I realized another issue. Those round gaskets won't really let the lid close, so I need to do another redesign. I professionally measured the sizes that I need to achieve in the models and went about modeling. Here you can see how those turned out, and I printed a few versions thicker and thinner. Just wanted to see which will work best. Having those in the oven, I went about painting the top lid. And why painting, you may ask? I could use colorful filament, but at the time I didn't have black PETG, and it turned out badly. But I won't be defeated. I figured out how to make that work without reprinting. So what I did was to print another layer that I'm aiming to stick on this, and I was determined to do it through the night. So here you can see the glue that I used, and I figured I will use this carbon fiber plate to achieve this cool texture. Remember, you can wash off the glue with hot water, sometimes a bit of soap. So then I put everything together and glued that. And then I was basically done. It was the final step to install this on the deck. Just with the first screws, I made a mistake. I screwed a screw too tightly and it broke the box with its impact, but I didn't do anything about it and it's still good. It didn't leak, so I just left it like that. Then I ran the cables along with the gaskets, and in the end it was looking something like this. Having the box vertically made putting the gasket along with the lid kind of tricky because it would fall out, but if I did it, you can also do it. And this is how it looks like in the end. I think those fit pretty well. So now, for the grand finale, Voila!
Big thanks to PB-TEC for the box design.